some of you guys think it's a little strange, a little out there, but alien abduction. So we're going to touch on that a little bit again, if it's okay with you, OG.
Yeah.
Folks, as you know, the U.S. government had an entity called Project Blue Book that ran from 1947 to 1969. And their primary goal was to investigate, and in their words, to determine if UFOs were a threat to national security. That was their primary goal. Their second goal was to scientifically analyze UFO related data, and that's what your taxpayer dollars was spent doing from 1947 to 1969. And as you all know, people who say they've been abducted, people who come forward with these things, they have so much to lose and nothing to gain. So for all you skeptics out there, just keep in mind, for someone to come forward and say that, they'll be ostracized and ridiculed. So a lot of these folks are not looking for fame. They're just sharing their experience. And speaking of experience, on October 11, 1973, in Pascagoula, Mississippi, Calvin Parker Jr. and his friends Charles Hickson, they was fishing on the Pascagoula River around 6 p.m. A clear evening around 6 p.m. And according to those gentlemen, they were abducted. They lost 18 to 20 hours. They don't know what happened, where they were. Well, they know where they were, but they lost 18 to 20 hours in the process. Now, these guys have had polygraph tests. These guys have had hypnosis, and through all the records, according to the powers that be, they're telling the truth. Now, they say they was abducted, and they say they was some sort of medical experiments was done on them. Medical experiments were done on these guys. And as I've just stated, people who come forward and say these things, folks, they have everything to lose and nothing to gain. So I'm inclined to believe what these guys are saying. And there's been so many folks who've had the same experience who don't come forward, based on the treatment of some of the folks who do come forward. Now, right now, I'm going to pass it to OG Hodge and kind of get your thoughts. I know it's a little bit out there, but let me get your thoughts on that just a little bit. Touch on that for me, please.
Well, myself, it could have been some of that good stuff in effect. It made them hallucinate and thought that's what happened.
Yeah.
But also, I am a believer that if someone else is out there, I don't think that we the only person in this universe, on this, maybe on this planet, but I believe it is something out there. As we could tell how things is going, Corona, the AIDS, the
Bubonic plague, so on and so forth.
So on and so on, cancer. It's something out there. It's so much stuff coming up, and as we enter in the inner part of 2020,
the 20th century, okay,
and stuff in the 20th century. It ain't no telling what might come. I think we starting to enter to a new dimension and to new things that's come. So nothing surprises me. And so I do believe it is something else out there. I can't say if somebody was abducted or not, but I do believe it is someone else is out there. Something else is out there.
I fully agree.
And stuff. So I just say this: keep your heads up, and all you can do is watch, and see, and just be careful. But I wouldn't doubt it if it was.
Oh, I fully agree. I mean, of course, folks, like you just said, there's a few kooks out there. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. but a lot of these folks are totally legit. Like Betty and Barney Hill, which I mentioned a few episodes ago. They had everything to lose and nothing to gain by coming forward, just like these gentlemen and several others over the years. I personally believe, based on folks who I've spoken with and things that I've read, that we've been visited for a long time. We can't prove it. I can't prove it. Now, does the government know something that we, the public, don't? I'm inclined to believe they do, and I sort of agree with the government about not letting everything out there to prevent worldwide panic. So, but I really believe something is going on. Now, there's a lot of talk out there about Area 51 out in Central Nevada, this government facility. We know the stealth fighter was there. We understand that, and we understand that there's this attack helicopter was there that's supposed to be resistant to radar. So this particular fighter chopper can literally go anywhere in the world and land on any one of the 7 seas on one of our aircraft carrier without being detected by radar. Now, that's technology. Of course, we got advanced. The technology is improving each and every day, more or less. So I'm going to say, not too much sound like Spooky Mulder from the X-Files, but I don't think we're alone out there, folks. So you know how to go to our page, text us, get in touch with us here at Urban Solutions. Let us know what you guys think. If someone out there have had an experience that you can't explain, we'd like to hear about it. So contact us at Urban Solution, and let us know, and so we can keep this dialogue going. Because I received a lot of positive feedback from our last episode a few weeks ago on this subject. And as you guys can see, I have my alien protective hat from Brian, our co-host. He couldn't be with us tonight, but I do have the hat. Thank you for that. And so with that being said, we're gonna, I would like to take a quick moment out, not to jump subjects too fast, but OG and I would like to take a quick moment out to give our condolences to the family of Breonna Taylor. As you know, the young lady, the officers involved in her murder won't be charged with anything worthwhile. One of them is going to be charged, but not with anything worthwhile. So we want to send out our condolences to her family, And we got a couple of more. This is a special edition. We got a couple more subjects we're going to talk about tonight, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Now, before we move on, OG Hodge, is there? You want to touch on the aid a little bit more? Or you want to just move on?
No. I think what you're saying is pretty much, correct. I think, hate to get into our business about the government, but government, I think that they do know is something, and they don't tell us people everything.
They don't tell the public.
And I think the way how the situation in the world is moving now, I think that we got need stuff. We got need superheroes. I believe in the comic book stories, the superheroes, the way how stuff is going around on this planet, and people is hating and the violence and the diseases and the stuff. We need a savior. We need somebody.
I agree.
We need somebody. So I'm waiting on those superheroes to come down and the change us or to help us out, because we need help right now. And our government is not being honest with us and telling us the truth about things. So we need that extra somebody that positive energy. So if we are gonna get into that space age, that we are gonna have people like the Black Panther or the Supermans or the Cage, the Black Heroes, or so forth, the Avengers or whatever we need, whoever it might be to come in and help us. I wish they get here
I see.
because we need it.
Right. I understand. I understand.
And stuff. 'Cause you remember they said back in was it the 50s in New Mexico they had a spaceship or something landed.
He's speaking of yes, good point. Thank you. He's speaking of 1947 Roswell, New Mexico, folks.
Yes. I didn't do my homework all on that, but I remember it was talk about that. It was
they actually a craft actually crash landed outside of Roswell, New Mexico. For the first couple of days, as OG was saying, the government confirmed it for 2 or 3 days. After which, they totally did, how do you say, a flip or reversal, or they changed their mind and said it was a weather balloon, which is how can experienced pilots and scientists and engineers confuse a weather balloon with unidentified spacecraft, something they've never seen before. All of a sudden, it's a weather balloon. So he hit the nail on the head on that one. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it is something out there, and there's so much more to this universe, and that we don't know. We haven't discovered. Mm-hmm. And in speaking of that, that they talking about they finna send men and women back up to the moon.
Yes, I heard something about that.
And this is, I thought that they had been sending them. I guess they've been sending them out of space, but not to the moon.
Well, yeah, we actually have a base there, a lab. We have a international station there. Mm-hmm. So that guys, there are astronauts living there. Astronauts and cosmonauts, Russian cosmonaut and astronaut, and a couple of other. I don't know what the Chinese call their astronauts, but there's cosmonaut astronauts and a couple of others that are there now. That are stationed there now, out in space, X amount of miles from the moon.
But yeah, so they out of space. They not on the moon. But we finna send people back to the moon. Yes. I guess to do another moon walk, a landing on the moon.
Actually, they finna build something there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're but once again, to say you don't do your homework, you're quite informed. Thank you. They want to build a structure, on a permanent structure that's going to physically sit on the moon. And I want to say there's a trip planned to Mars in 2035. Actual live a man craft is scheduled to go to Mars in 2035 or 2036, one of the two. At least that's what has been reported in Omni, the book of science and technology, in that magazine Omni. That's what's been reported there. So keep your eyes out for that. And someone is still one of the billionaires here locally is speaking about domestic flight to the moon out into space. Very, very expensive, but they're discussing it.
See, and that's what's so crazy. If they finna make the domestic flights mm-hmm. that people could take to the moon, mm-hmm. what gives you the idea that they haven't already been to like Venus, Mars, or some of the other planets already, and our government not telling us?
You mean some of us here had some they've already sent some people to other planets and they're not telling the public?
Yes, they're not telling, because our government never tell us everything. Because if they already know that it's safe enough to travel mm-hmm. like a plane mm-hmm. to the moon, why haven't they already tried to go to one of the other planets or something else yet?
That's kind of deep.
So maybe they have already
mm-hmm. and not telling us.
Interesting. So, but they already gonna say that it's safe enough for us to go travel to the moon. Mm-hmm. They've been doing that back and forth.
Right.
So why haven't they landed and tried something
since
else?
1969,
Since 1969. So mm-hmm. that's something else you could think about mm-hmm. because, like I said, it's so much that our government is not telling us.
Yeah, I agree.
That it's no telling what they already accomplished mm-hmm. or what they tried mm-hmm. and hiding from us.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting
point. So, for all the non-believers, mm-hmm. just have an open mind.
True.
About things. Not saying that mm-hmm. it have happened, but don't doubt that it hasn't. So, with this world we live in today,
right.
anything is possible mm-hmm. as we seeing it revolve and turn around.
But I fully agree. That's why I made the statement about Calvin Parker Jr. and Charles Hickerson. These guys had everything to lose by coming forward and nothing to gain. You know, we both know there's a lot of, how do you say, kooks or crackpots out there?
Yeah.
We know that, but everyone is not like that. Yeah, but everyone is not like that. You know, some of these guys, in my opinion, and he seemed to agree that some of these guys are telling the truth, folks. So as he said, keep an open mind. Just keep an open mind and be willing to listen.
You know, it's like that, and I'm pretty sure that y'all out there that's watching this are gonna view this have had one of these occasions before. It's just like having that dream. Sometimes deja vu. You someplace and you go, I seen this someplace before. I've been here. I did this. I don't remember what's gonna happen after this, but I remember this one figment of a mind. So could that be because something that is messing with us, our minds playing tricks on us? Is it because somebody put us here and we live in a life that they made for us?
Yeah.
You know, you never know, but we all had that moment at one time in our life.
Yeah, yes.
That we go, I remember this. If you drinking or you smoking or you just pop up or you out of breath and heart is beating or something, you didn't ran a track meet or you just did a long walk, whatever it might be, and you feel like, you know what, I done this before. This seemed familiar. We all done had one of those moments before, so you never know what it is.
Right. So for some of you guys who not sure where OG is coming from, he's saying, where does this deja vu come from? Could it be we live in a parallel universe? Who's to say we're not? I'm not saying we're not, but who's to say we're not? You know, and I know for some of you're gonna think this is a little kooky, this is a little strange. Now, I understand the X-Files was just fiction. That was a show. We understand that, but. The two planes. I'm sorry. The X-Files was just a show, but just for entertainment. But the government put the rational, logical Agent Scully with Agent Mulder to keep an eye on him, keep an eye on this guy, because he's strange. He's out there. So I said that to say this: keep open mind and don't count anything or anyone out. You agree?
Yeah, and I would add to that, so was the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff that they did on the Twilight Zone in the 50s, it came to true. It may not have been the exact year or the exact way they said, but it was similar. Some of the things that happened, you know, what went on in the world.
So you mean those writers got those ideas from somewhere, you mean? Something going on somewhere, as they say.
They had the vision of what could happen, and as time moving on and we living in these times, some of those things happen. Not exactly like the movie, like you said, it was a movie, it was a show, but some of those things then came true.
Like the stealth fighter we have. You know, so far we're the only country on the planet that has a stealth fighter. Some people say the technology come from an extraterrestrial source. I can't comment on that. I can't say one way or the other. Some guys want to believe it, some of you are not. I would like to think we just have some brilliant scientists and engineers and technicians out there. I'll just leave it right there because I don't have enough info, and it's hard to get in depth with it because the government sent out red flags if you try to dig too deep to get too much information. So I have no choice but to say the technology, for whatever this technology comes from to make this stealth fighter and a few other these war systems, I'll have to say it comes from brilliant engineers, brilliant scientists, brilliant technicians, because I really don't have anything else to grasp to at this time. Now, and I do believe in, I'm not one of those guys who say, well, I don't believe it if I don't see it. If I can't touch it, I don't believe it. I'm not one of those. I do like to deal in facts, but I can, throughout my life, things have happened where I can take things on faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah, it's a lot out there, but it just give you something. It's one of those things that make you want to go,
That's right, folks. That's right. And moving on, we're gonna touch on a couple other little things. OG, something we was chit chatting about earlier. What was it that you was telling me about earlier?
No, it's a couple of things. I wanted to speak on accountability.
Oh, okay.
I think people need to take accountability in their action in this time that we living in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot of the
Be accountable for your actions.
for your action.
Okay.
Exactly. You know, everybody is on the police. You know, we know our police is not no right. It's always been us against them, and vice versa. And people, when they do something, you need to be accountable for your actions, what you're doing.
Okay.
Not saying that is right, who's right or who's wrong. Most of the time, certain ones are wrong, but
When you say certain ones, can you elaborate?
yeah, certain ones could be as most people would quote to say the police
Okay.
is wrong. But we also have to stand up and be accountable for our actions, the stuff that we doing.
We the peoples.
We the people.
Okay.
In a whole.
I got you.
We can't always be the ones that say they did me wrong or I deserve this. I should have a better shot at it. You should be
agree.
accountability of what your actions is. Life is not fair. We all know that. And much as we would like it to be on a balanced level, everything
even playing field. I got
even
you.
playing field, which we would all wish, but sometimes it's not like that.
Right,
No
right.
matter who you are.
True.
It don't really. It has a little bit to do with the color, you know, our race, our color, and that's true. But also, you could be with the same color, and you still gonna have people on another level than you are.
That's true.
But you still have to be accountable for your actions of what you do. And I think in a whole that we need to be more accountable for what we do, our actions.
Yes, I agree. I think, and I think what you're saying, and please jump in if I'm wrong. If you know you don't have no license, don't drive. Get someone to take you. If you know you've been drinking, don't get behind the wheel. If you know certain guys are out for trouble or they carrying illegal contrabands or illegal weapons, stay away from those guys. Stay out of trouble. Be accountable for the decision you make. Is that pretty much where you're going?
Yes, because when something happened and you out of your element and you knew it's something that you shouldn't be doing, nothing good is gonna come out of that. So you gotta own up to your actions. And that's where I think that we all need to stand. The other things, the other elements is out of our hands, our control. When somebody is doing something or the police pull you over or they harass you, that's out of our hands.
Right.
Not
right.
that is right. It's completely wrong.
I agree.
But long as you doing what you're supposed to do and you where you're supposed to be,
you got a better chance.
you have a better
I got
chance.
you.
Not
Okay.
saying it's fair and everything's
understand.
gonna
I
be
agree.
even,
I
but
agree.
us in a whole, everybody need to be accountable for their actions. If you know you shouldn't be someplace or you shouldn't be doing something or you shouldn't be involved with something, try not to do it.
I agree.
And not saying that nothing won't happen to you, because a lot of times, as we all know, nobody goes out and look for troubles but the knuckleheads.
Right.
So we're not looking for trouble, but that don't mean trouble won't find you.
I agree.
So you just have to be able to make sure that it's a less of a chance that trouble will creep into your life or you get caught up, as they say, is doing something. So I think everybody need to be more aware and accountable of their action in life, especially with this day and age and time.
I'm going to add to that. I like that. Thank you. Primarily for you young folks out there, it's okay to march. It's okay to protest. I encourage you to do so. But if you see some guys over there setting dumpsters on fire, throwing Molotov cocktails at the police, busting windows, that's just killing the message. that the peaceful protesters are trying to kill. And that's just what he's saying. You know, if you want to go out and protest for your voices to be heard, that's totally fine. We encourage that.
Yes.
But don't go out there and get to hanging with a gang, and just because you're African American, you have a right to act a fool, because you don't. As a matter of fact, you causing the guys who are out there who are legitimately marching for change and equality and justice, you're making their job 3 times as hard. So when he says it's already bad enough, don't make it worse by being somewhere you shouldn't be or doing somewhere you shouldn't be doing, I fairly believe that's what he's trying to say is walk with the righteous. If you want to protest, fine, but do it in a peaceful, respectful manner. Because even the ones who are doing the right, certain folks in Washington are calling you criminals and calling you anarchists and so on and so forth. So do what you got to do within the perimeters of the law. Correct, OG?
Yes. Not just in Washington, but around the world.
Around the world,
Everybody
yes.
needs to be accountable for their actions and take responsibilities. And just always remember, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Right.
And you're not just going to always win in life. Sometimes you're going to have to take that L. But just as long as you turn it around and make it right, you have a better chance of succeeding in life. And I think that's an attitude that each and one of us, everyone need to take. No creed, color, or
That's
race
right.
or nothing, but we all need to strive to be a better person.
I fully agree. It doesn't matter if you're black or brown, because a lot of times, and I mean no disrespect, but a lot of times what they call trailer trash, and I mean no disrespect, what they call poor white folks trailer trash go through the same hassle and headaches that black and brown go through. Because we're on a different economic level than certain, like you said a second ago, certain black and brown who's in a different tax bracket, they don't go through any changes at all. It seems like the poorer you are, the rougher it is, so to speak. The easier your chances are to get in trouble when you don't have the financial and economic backing like them. Not to put us against them race-wise, because you could be black, brown, or white. But if you from the wrong side of the tracks, you're in a whole different category when it comes to law and justice. There's a rich man justice and there's a poor man justice. Do you agree?
Yes. And unfortunately, it should be one justice, but unfortunately, it's not like that. So we got to strive to make it like that. But we also have to make sure that we take it back to accountability in our responsibility to make it as fair as we can.
Agree. I fully agree.
So it goes on both sides of the fence.
Okay. Very well put, sir. Very well put. And once again, can you tell our audience who we are and what we're about, please?
We're Urban Solution, and we're a podcast radio show. So I'm gonna give in this plug. We have 6 different shows that we have: the Dirt, Urban Talk, radio show. We have the Cocktail Lounge. We have It's On, the Kings of the Round Table, and we also have You're On, and The Real.
Yes, and we so appreciate you guys joining us on all of our shows, and we like your support and we appreciate your support. So like and subscribe and keep watching us and help us grow and
hit that bell, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you subscribe and support us, because we support y'all. And if you have any questions or anything that you want us to talk about, make sure you inbox us. We may not get right back to you, but we will, and we'll bring up whatever the questions are and give you any information that we can on it. And we just want you to support and subscribe. And also we brought to you by It's a New Thing, BigCartel.com. Get your gear. It's a new thing. Urban Privilege, On Point, and Urban World Talk, and more. So follow us and go to our page, and you can find out we have a lot of other things in there. So we're gonna switch this gear. We're gonna go to tomorrow's a big fight.
Okay, it's tomorrow night, folks.
The Charlo brothers, and they doing pretty good. You know, we's a big sports fans.
Yes.
You know, boxing, football, basketball, and first we're gonna let's since we real close to basketball. You know, we got 4 teams left, and we just got a game that's about over. Boston just came back 3-2. And so, you know, who you think gonna come out of the East between Boston and Miami?
I like Boston.
So you think Boston gonna come back?
I think so. I think Boston got a pretty strong chance of coming back. Tonight it was 108 to 121, Boston, and you know, it's been a while since they've been there.
Yeah.
So I think don't count them out. Let me say that. Don't count Boston out.
You can count nothing out these days and stuff. And in the West, you think the Lakers gonna finish?
My heart is with the Lakers. Yes.
Denver.
I almost know it, folks.
Big game tomorrow.
Yes, big game tomorrow. Now Denver, you did a good job to get there, but the Lakers will not be denied from the West. The Lakers won't be denied.
Also, you know, Denver then came back. This is their 3rd series. They've been down 3-1, and they then came back on every series and took the series. You think the Lakers will let up and let them come back?
No. Denver has been playing some good ball. I'm impressed with what they've been doing, especially with their back up against the wall. But LeBron and the Lakers, in my opinion, folks, will not be denied. Actually, I think the Lakers want to take it all.
Well, we'll see.
We will see.
Time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see.
See what they got. And now to the boxing. So what you think about the Charlo brothers tomorrow night?
I can't see all the belts on the line. The WBC, the WBA, and the WBO, and I cannot see the Charlo brothers losing. It would really shock me if the Charlo brothers lose. It would be like Mike Tyson in Tokyo, 91, upset by Buster Douglas. I didn't see it coming. I didn't believe it. After it happened, I still didn't believe it. I can't see the Charlo brothers losing. Now they're going up against some stiff competitions. One of the guys has a belt already, so it's going to be a good fight. But as far as brute strength and determination, I have to go with in aggressiveness. I have to go with the Charlo brothers.
So as long as they ain't doing like Mike Tyson, you mentioned Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. So as long as the Charlo brothers ain't out hanging out with Bobby Brown,
right,
the prostitutes all night, they should win.
Yes.
Okay, we gotta clear that up because that's what they say Tyson was doing the night that he lost.
Well, he admitted it. He admitted it himself. So this is not allegedly. Tyson was, as they say, kicking it, partying hard, because Buster Douglas has a long history of quitting, of giving up around round 6, round 7. He was known to be short-winded. He was known to get mentally tired. He had a long history of that. You know, we started a couple of times with Buster Douglas. And in 91, Mike Tyson was unstoppable. You know, he was a force to be reckoned with. But you cannot count out a professional, especially a big man, a big, strong professional. Buster Douglas was a big guy, 232, 233? And he had a long reach. And that night he just came to fight. Buster Douglas was in tip-top shape, and his jab was accurate that night. Now, I had never seen him fight like that before then or after then, but that night he came to fight.
One night.
Yeah.
All it takes is one.
Now, after he won the title, after he beat Mike Tyson, he turned back into the Buster Douglas of old. eating and not running, not training, not doing anything. So when he got in there with this first defense against Evander Holyfield, and I'm not an Evander Holyfield fan, folks. His first defense, he barely made it to the third round. Now you done beat Mike Tyson. You done beat Mr. Boxing. And on your first defense, you come in what, 22 pounds overweight? Against Evander Holyfield, love him or hate him, he's no bum. He's determined and he had skills. The steroids aside, you cannot take Evander Holyfield for granted. And his Buster Douglas camp drilled that into his head. I know. He kept saying he know, but he wasn't doing it. He was eating, as they say, garbage. He wasn't trained improperly, and it paid off for Holyfield. You could tell when you the heavyweight champion of the world, which is what he was, and you come in there 22 pounds overweight. Come on, Buster Douglas. And he haven't been nothing since. Unfortunately, he had a couple of fights after that, but he was never the same.
Yeah, he was only that guy that one fight.
Yes.
And that's the only thing that we ever remember him by, unfortunately, is the knockout of Mike Tyson. Other than that,
his few other wins before that and after that was against no-name tomato cans.
Yeah, so he never really, that was his high point. But you know what they say, when you're on the top of the ladder, only place you could go was down.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He climbed there quick and went down just as quick as he got there.
One fight, not right after his loss to Holyfield, but about 2 years after that, he came into a fight like 46 or 47 pounds overweight. And I'm like, really, Buster? You know, and the promoters the promoters was out for money. They shouldn't even sanction that fight.
I think that was just called paycheck.
Yes, that's what it was.
I need to get some bills paid.
Yeah. Well, he had money, but those the promoters was trying to put money in their pocket.
He probably was about out too, you know, living large for a couple of years, and sucking his dreams, and after he had lost, he probably had went down a little bit. So I think he needed it too. That's the reason why he hopped in there.
46 pounds overweight. Unbelievable.
I was just like, I need a paycheck.
Yeah,
I do it.
I'm inclined to agree. And speaking now, a lot of guys have done well after they retired. Most of them have not. Most boxers have not. And we don't have to go into names. You know who they are, folks. The ones who have been kicked out of their house, and then they've been kicked out of a second house. They tell you they're not handling their business, their financial business. They're not taking care of business on a financial level by no means. And whatever child support or alimony you got to pay, just because you stop fighting, that doesn't mean the bills stop coming. So if you made 20 million this year, 15 million the year after that, the year after that, but you got obligations, you got legal obligations. If you don't make no money that following year or the next 2 years, that doesn't mean that the obligation goes away.
Especially if you don't have no money coming in.
Thank you.
Instead, you got money going out. Not to just leave it to boxing, but all sports and entertaining, period. We didn't see that cycle go
time and time again
around, and that's where it goes back to the earlier conversation. People have to be accountable for their actions and what they do. So people just be accountable for whatever you do. Whatever you do in life, be accountable for it, because life don't stop and the world won't stop turning. No matter what you do, who you are, it goes on. So make your mark and make sure that you be accountable for what you do.
Time waits for no man, folks. Tomorrow, you and I and OG is going to be a day older, whether we like it or not. So make sound, solid decisions out there, guys. Because in a lot of those, speaking of athletes and entertainment, a lot of them had received the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yes. that only a lot of us wish that we had that opportunity to be in that place.
Yes.
At that certain time, at that moment. So when you do have that moment and you get that opportunity, seize it and make the best of it, because a lot of us don't get that, and some of us get an extra chance, 2 times at it, a second chance. So make sure when you get it that once, you make the best of it and you seize that, because sometimes it never comes around, or you may not ever get it again.
Oh yes, I fully agree, and we could go on and on and on. I'll just name a couple of greats who died in dire straits. The Brown Bomber, Joe Louis. I mean, he made a lot of money. He donated a lot of his purse to charities. He did a lot of good things when he was champ. 12 years straight, he helped many people, many orphanage. He did a whole lot of good things. When he passed, a couple other celebrities had to bury him, unfortunately. And even more recently than that, Iran Barkley, and I could go Iran Barkley, as well as Riddick, Big Daddy Bo, and many others. So be accountable for your actions, as he said, because you may not get that opportunity again. You just, some guys use their heads, some guys don't. I don't know what other way to put it.
Yeah. It ain't no other way to put it.
Right.
But no sugarcoating and putting it as it is.
That's right.
And once again, I want to tell y'all to make sure y'all hit the bell, subscribe to Urban Solution Radio on YouTube, and hit us up on Facebook, Instagram. Facebook is Urban Solution Radio. Instagram is urban.solution FM. Subscribe, follow us, and let us know if you have anything that you want us to talk about. Come be a part of the team. If you are a musician, or you have music out there, R&B rapper, or you make beats, you can also send your music in to urban.solutionfm@gmail.com, and we'll get your music on, play it. We got a station 24/7, urbansolutionradio.com. Check us out. We rock the house 24/7.
24/7, folks.
So make sure that you get with us. We got a nice platform out here, and we would love for you to be a part of it.
Course.
To subscribe. Make sure you check out one of the hottest shows around every Thursday. Is the Cocktail Lounge. Some of the sexiest girls around talk about everything that you want to talk about, and some of the things that you wouldn't talk about. Like us here on the Kings of the Round Table.
Yes.
It's on radio. Hottest radio show around, and the Sunday show is the real. Check us out, and we do a lot of things. So it's a platform, and we love for y'all to be a part of the team, and subscribe, and
come check us out, folks.
Check us out, because we here for you, and we gonna. You got some more you want to go through?
No,
or?
I think we just pretty much covered it, folks. Once again, it's almost 9 o'clock. Did you want to touch on anything else?
No, I want to end it and say I'm the LAG, and
I'm Jake Broom, folks. LAG and Jake Broom, and we want to thank you guys for joining us here at the Kings of the Round Table. And we'll be back here next Friday night at 7:30. So please tune in and join us next Friday night, King of the Round Tables. LAG and Jake Broom.
It starts with us, it ends with us,
and if you want the real,